Well, a very good afternoon, everyone, and welcome down to Bassendean Oval for this reserves grand final in the C grade at Scarborough, who've only lost one game this season against the all-conquering Kingsway, who have demolished some teams to make their way into the grand final for 2011. Beautiful conditions prevailing here at Bassendean Oval on what promises to be an excellent encounter. In commentary this afternoon, myself, Steve Mills, along with Geoff Smith. And Smithy, you'll be out there yourself playing in a grand final next weekend. You must be pretty excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely, Mills. You're looking forward to it, but enjoying the week off this week, a chance to get on board and watch a bit of country footy, mate. So it's going to be an interesting encounter. Scarborough only the one loss this year in round 8, but Kingsway for me, they are on some sort of roll, Millsy. They finished 5th this year, and to come through doing it the hard way, do they have one more in them is probably the big question.
Well, we watched the Colts, and it certainly favoured the end towards. What is that end of the ground? The non-shopping centre end, or whatever you want to call that down here at Bassendean, the members' end of the ground. And, we saw an entertaining Colts encounter, but Kingsway was slow to begin. In fact, they battled to actually win a kick a goal in the first half. They managed to kick a few in the second half, and it was the tail the opposite, because in the lead up to the first half, Kelmscott were dominating, but they failed to kick a goal in the second half. So it'll be interesting to see what actually happens here. Both teams will no doubt want to settle very quickly. The toss of the coin about to happen in the centre of the ground. The two skippers out there exchanging pleasantries. And the skipper out there, McNamara for Scarborough, doing the battle. And the coin toss goes up. And he's able to make the call, but it's won by the captain of Kingsway and the sheriff, who's laying down the law this afternoon. And no doubt it'll be an entertaining encounter. So he'll elect to kick to the Bassendean end of the ground. And Scarborough will be kicking down towards the members' end or the river end here at Bassendean Oval. Based on form, you'd have to say that Scarborough are favourites for this encounter this afternoon, Smithy?
Yeah, absolutely, Millsy. They've had the first week off in the finals, then a good win against Warnbro in the second semi-final, and then they've had the week off before today, so they'll be well rested. But as we say, Kelmscott are in, Kingsway are in some sort of form coming into today, so it's going to be an interesting clash. All
right, down there on the boundary line, Lenko, who will keep us up to date throughout the afternoon. You've got a mate down there to help you in this encounter. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah, thanks, Millsy. I've got the Director of Football from Scarborough, Kim Booth, down here. Kim, exciting game. Who's some of the players we should be looking out for?
Good afternoon, everyone. From the Scarborough perspective, I'd probably say young Pickett, the Aboriginal fellow in the middle. He gets a lot of it. And down back, a young player in the name of Murray. He tends to run the footy out extremely well. And player number 6 in the middle, Harry Goddard.
Yeah, and what about this John Plunkett, as he's known, the X Factor?
Yeah, X plays across half back, and he gave himself the name X because he believes in a game of footy he is the X Factor, so we'll just leave it at that.
So look out for him, boys. Should be a good game.
Excellent. All right. Well, the boys are in the centre of the ground. We're ready to get them off. Big Hamer, Chris Hamer, exchanging hands. There's a few good sleeves out there today. We like watching the sleeves here in amateur football, but one of the best I think we've seen in the finals thus far is being supported here by Goddard of Scarborough. There's not much left on his arm. For a premiership team medallion, I would suggest. So we'll see what happens here. We're nearly ready to go in the grand final. The reserves in the C grade. The umpire just making sure of a few things off the ground. But the big boys are about to do battle. Big Osment for Kingsway. He's a big boy. He's going to be taking the ruck, and he'll be up against Hamer. And
Osment, no doubt, I think he's known as the robot.
What's he called?
The robot.
The robot.
Is the word around town.
Okay, well, he certainly looks like the tie. The umpire puts the ball in the air, and we're ready to go in the reserves grand final C grade. Let's see what they can do. Kingsway win the first tap, but there goes the tattoo one, the one we were talking about, Goddard. He gets the first kick of the grand final. It goes up towards their half-forward line. No one can take possession. Coming out on a burst there was that man. He was able to fire the ball across. Oh, very hard early. Murray, he took one for the team. Good, solid play there. Kingsway out of defence for the form of Hopkins. Hopkins looks for his player there, can't find anyone. He's in all sorts of trouble, the big fella there in Hamer, and the umpire says you can have a free kick, and they take possession, Kingsway. So away they go again. Early in the first half, and he hacks the ball up towards the centre of the ground, and in the van there, coming out is Blee. Now Blee's pretty well in the centre, goes forward, and finds on a lead a Led. That's Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin on the lead. He's right on the wing in front of our commentary position here at Bassendean Oval. Thought about the handball. The umpire says you can play on now. He's got quite a few options in the centre of the ground, and that's exactly where he goes. And he finds his big fella out there in the form of Castle, and he's able to actually kick the ball, but his kick is pretty average, really, and straight down the throat of Scarborough. Early observation, Smithy, what do you reckon?
Yeah, definitely started with plenty of fire, which is good to see, and you'd expect out here in the grand final without doubt.
This is Stone. Stone is on the burst, kicking up towards full forward, pushed out of it in the contact, but it came over to the back, picked up there by Ryan. Ryan's kick's going nowhere. They're able to come out of defence through the form of Power. Power kick doesn't go anywhere. Scarborough player has a shot on goal, and that's the first kick of the grand final, and they've scored. So Scarborough, with an early ascendancy here, kicks the first score of the game. It's a one straight goal, 6, and they lead Kingsley, who are yet to score, and just trying to pick up that player who was over there in the pack. It was a nice old kick out of the pack. I don't know, you might be able to help us out, Lenko. Who was that man?
Damien Lowry, that one.
Okay, well, the big fella did exceptionally well and found the goal and put it through. So good start to Scarborough. As we said, 1 goal straight, and Kingsway yet to score.
So a couple of outs for the game, Millsy. Number 17, Ben Denson, he's out for Scarborough. Mitch Kellyanne and also Paul Villanua.
All right, pretty physical in the centre of the ground, and coming up with the ball there is Blee. Blee's kick towards their half-forward line. They've fallen down a couple of times when they've had the opportunity to go forward. Rasty. That's Rasty. He overruns the footy, which gives Scarborough the opportunity to get some relief. But his kick goes straight down the throat of Blee. He's been active in this opening part of this grand final encounter. Power in the centre of the ground finds the option to the yellow booted player there. He's able to kick the ball forward. That was Blab. Blab ball up towards full forward in the van. There was Kingsway, but they can't take the ball. And Scarborough again. Very strong out of defence, and they go up towards the wing position. Pickett came from behind. He couldn't take the mark. The ball comes for it. It's a race on here. He tries to find possession though, but Pickett's there. He's too good. This way, that away, then goes back and finds his player over there in Stone. Stone then has a look around. In fact, it was intercepted by his teammate there, and that was in the form of Hamer. Hamer's ball goes towards the forward line. No one can take possession until Kingsway get the ball up, and that's a courageous mark coming out on the lead and takes a strong mark in the form of Bartlett. Bartlett very quickly finds his teammate there in Goddard. Back to Pickett. Pickett's handball goes to no one in particular. They got the hands there, but still no joy, and Kingsway are able to relieve, and the big fella takes a very strong mark in the centre of the ground, and away they go, but the kick is straight down the throat of the defender there in Scarborough, and that was Boschman, and he's able to find his teammate, and away they go again. So some good signs in defence early for Scarborough, Smithy.
Yeah, both teams working the footy well off half back here. Scarborough kick into their forward 50. Good defence there.
Stone's work has been great. Murray was in the van, couldn't quite take the mark. The big fella overran the ball there in Osment. They call him the robot, is that correct?
Yeah,
no robotics,
right.
Nothing robotic about that, very strong. Now Murray's in there again, stacks on the mill. The umpire will say, give it to me and I'll throw it up. And we've gone around about 7 minutes in this grand final, and Scarborough, who go into the grand final as favourites, lead 1 goal straight, 6 points, and Kingsway yet to bother the scoreboard attendant. Run of the ball favouring Power. He's been active in defence early. His handball doesn't go to anyone in particular. In fact, there's about 4 Scarborough players. They could raffle it. Murray handball or kick goes out towards no one in particular. The last goal to kick the goal in Lowry. He stood up firm in the tackle, but the ball comes off hands, and the umpire said you had plenty of opportunity there, so you can have a free kick. So Kingsway into attack, trying to penetrate the centre of the ground, but there's all Scarborough, and the big fella takes his mark yet again in the centre of the ground. Kicks it up, goes in looking for Summers, and Summers comes out and takes a very good mark. So plenty of options for Scarborough early in this grand final. His kick goes up towards full forward, coming out on a lead there and taking a mark. Is that man again, Larry, kicked the first goal of the game, and he looks like a likely type. How many goals has he kicked this season down there on the boundary?
I'll just ask Kim, mate. Here's the wealth of knowledge for them. How many goals? Millsy wants to know, has Lurie kicked this season?
Lowry's he mainly plays back, but he's been brought forward for the finals.
All right, well, a good move so far, though. His kick was like a backman then, because it went right across the face of goals. So wasted opportunity. And Kingsway, well, they've got a bit of drive out of defence early, but they need to try and penetrate the centre of the ground. They get a bit of run on here, and away they go. Let's see if he can pick up the ball. There's another interesting tat out there in Sturgis. He overruns the footy. This way, that away. A few players in and out, and that's good play there by Plunkett. Very solid in defence. Gets the handball across, and away they go through the centre of the ground. They got the running Goddard. Goddard, who's also got an interesting sleeve on him this afternoon. He goes long and strong towards full forward. The back man turn Pickett. Pickett can't take the footy. Oh, they're under a great deal of pressure, Kingsway, but they're up to the challenge thus far. But Scarborough finding that man again in Goddard. Goddard looks around, decides to sum up his options and finds Forrester. Forrester doesn't find his player. Zeppelin very quickly gets the handball across then to Rasty. Rasty's kick goes up to half forward. Can't take possession there. This is Sattler. Good play, Sattler. Sattler very posing, gets the rebound handball, rides the bump beautifully, gets the handball across to his teammate there who's running out in Plunkett. Plunkett's been lively earlier in Scarborough. Look good out of defence, Smithy.
Yeah, they've got plenty of pressure, so plenty of time, and they've got the ball at the moment, and they're spotting up targets well.
Stone is the man as they drive forward. He goes up towards half forward. No one can take the mark. Plenty of pressure here again for Kingsway. Up to the challenge. So far, so good. They get out of defence and they go up towards the half forward line, but to the wing. It drops short, and coming out and taking a mark there is Burton.
That's been the story so far for Kingsway, just kicking long and spotting up a lot of Scarborough players.
Burton's kick doesn't really go to anyone in particular. He's grabbed without the footy. Plough, says the umpire. Trying to kind of summer the ball in there was Hamer. Hamer's kick goes forward. There's a few chances here. Lowry again gets the tap on goal, and the ball goes across the boundary line for a minor score, and that's their second score of the afternoon. They go to 1-1-7. And Kingsway yet to trouble the scorer. But it's been an active early stages of this grand final. Any observations down below, Lenko?
Oh, mate, perfect day. The crowd's really starting to build here. Perfect day for footy once again, as we saw earlier on. But Scarborough just seem to be putting all the pressure on here. And if Kingsway's not careful, they could end up like the Kingsway Colts and be a few goals down this first quarter.
Well, they've got a bit of run there. All power. Set up his player there in Rasty. Put his heart on the line and gets the free kick and is rewarded for doing exactly that. He's got a couple of players out wide, though he's looking forward. He doesn't like the options out wide, so he just puts the slipper in. As Smithy said, they're really going up just long, but it's not really paying for them at the moment because Plunkett gets the handball out to his running defender there. Through the agency of Bartlett, they combine beautifully, find his other teammate there, running out of defence strongly as Stone. He's been their go-to man early in this grand final. Gets the handball across into McNamara, who then kicks the ball across to the running player running through there for Scarborough. They can't quite finish it off. Lowry, who's been active early. He goes this way, that way, puts it across his body, has a shot on goal. It doesn't actually quite make the distance. What can Scarborough do? Good defence there by the Kingsway defender. Pickett comes in. The ball socket off the ground, the ball going towards the boundary line. And no joy here for Kingsway as far as finding that line. They do now. And there's plenty of pressure out there in the grand final, Smithy. This is what you're going to have to do next week.
This is fantastic, mate. Scarborough's build up there was absolutely terrific. They had plenty of players around the ball carrier, but then Kingsway, sensational defence down back.
All right, see what they can do now. Yes, Linko?
Millsy, Kim's got a few interesting comments to make about Scarborough, actually.
And what are they?
I was just going to say, last year they started like this, but I think they've had enough ball forward to the play, but they haven't kicked enough goals at this stage. It's similar to last year.
Well, Holbrook nearly had his head taken off there, so he nearly finished as a bottle of sauce, but he was able to come up very strong. He looks a rugged type of defender, the one you want in amateur football at its best. The ball comes right in front of our commentary position here at Bassendean Oval. It comes off hands, and we've got a throw in. So no doubt, is that in their back of their mind when they're coming to this grand final, the fact that they can fall to pieces at the wrong time?
Yeah, at their meetings during the week, they actually spoke about that, putting goals on early in the game because of the heat factor too.
All right, well, it puts a bit of pressure on. Here's Pickett. He's been lively early. It's a kind of a torpedo pump up the side of his boot. Lowry's there again. He can't take the possession of the football, but chances there. Has a snap on goal. That's a lovely effort off the ground. And Scarborough get their second of the afternoon through the opportunists of Ryan, who was able to come up with the crumbs. And as we said, a second goal of the day for Scarborough. They go to 2 goals, 1-13. And Kingsway yet to score. Good work there, Smithy.
Yeah, as you say, they need to keep these goals coming because they've had all the play. Kingsway just need to be a little bit more patient coming out of the back line. I think too often they're just going for that long bomb. And I think at times they're just coming undone. The ball's coming straight back. A little bit more composure from them, but what a start here by Scarborough.
I think this warm weather also take a big toll on the teams, with both teams using the interchange bench frequently.
Yeah, you can't see this game going at this pace for the remainder of the afternoon because they'll be absolutely whacked. Anyway, they're throwing themselves into it, and why not? It is a grand final. Now, the handball was no good there on the form of Bartlett. That gave the opportunity for Kingsway to come up, but Bartlett up to the challenge, goes to the go-to man in Stone. Stone is tackled without the football, surely. No, play on, says the umpire. The man putting some pressure on there was Wills. Again, no joy here for Scarborough because the defence is standing tall here for Kingsway. They're able to actually penetrate the centre of the ground. Can they try and take it a bit further? The roll of the dice helps them immensely there. They get a very quick kick there by Sturgis, who ball goes up towards full forward. Leading the charge for the goal there was Madaffrey, but the boundary line beats him. So an opportunity here to set up and hopefully worry the scoreboard. Attend it for the first time this afternoon.
Well, that's right. And why they're still in this game, I mean, they are kicking into a slight breeze, so they can snag one here and go and hold on to just a 1 goal down at quarter time. They've done pretty well for the quarter.
All right, the big boys setting themselves for battle here. Chris Hamer's been lively early. He's in battle there with his opponent there in Castle. The ball comes towards full forward line. An opportunity here for Kingsway. Can pick the ball up, kicks the ball off the ground. Sockers, that's a clever shot in the form of Madaffrey, but the ball is touched. And that's the first score of the afternoon for Kingsway, and they trail now by an even 2 goals. I think the score is incorrect on the score, but I think it's 2-1 Scarborough. And at the present time at Kingsway at their first point of the afternoon. So promising signs up there, Smithy.
Yeah, they're right in this.
Now, what about Stone? Can we ask our Scarborough representative about Stone? He seems to be a bloke that's their link man this afternoon. Is that a fair call?
Yeah, he's actually been playing in the seniors and didn't get a game today in the top side, so he's dropped back. So I'd expect he'll give him plenty of run on that wing.
Great pick-up by Goddard. That was a lovely play. They go forward again, Scarborough. They've got a few options here. What can they do? This way, that away. Turns, then there's a shot on goal. Turns and does beautifully. Summers. Oh, it's a hot summer's night. And he goals in the grand final. And that was all class, and that was aided again by some great work out of defence by Stone. A fantastic pick-up by Goddard, and he looks a likely type as well.
Yeah, good work there. On his left foot, just turn his opponent inside out a little bit and snap around the body. Great football, and they're on a roll here.
Just off the top there, Scarborough's now had 12 interchanges. I haven't seen Kingsway have many at all.
All right, well, it may be starting to take its impact here because they've been under enormous pressure down back. But it's whether you've got the depth against the bench to be able to do that. So it's been an entertaining start to this C-grade reserves grand final. Beautiful conditions prevailing here at Bassendean Oval. And the ball back in the centre of the ground. What can they do, Kingsway? Can they muster some form of effort? Winning the tap there was Wills. The ball goes to no one in particular, although then the ball goes up towards the half-forward line. Coming out very strongly, the defender there for Scarborough. The skipper puts it on his boot, kicks the ball up towards their wing position, but they're outnumbered 3-1. This way, that away. In the van there is Hopkins. Hopkins' kick puts his player under enormous pressure. Through the centre there goes McNamara, and these band of Berry men doing beautifully today. I tell you what, Bartlett doesn't look unlike Buddy Franklin in the centre of the ground. He got the same kind of physique. That's great play. Beautiful kick there by Murray. Larry wasn't up to the challenge, but picking up the crumbs there with the Scarborough players, and he finds his man. And that man on the lead coming out and taking a strong mark is number 13, and that's
Timmy McFarlane.
McFarlane, yes. A good play again, and sweeping beautifully through the half-back line again is where their rebounds coming. You'd be pretty happy with the efforts of McFarlane early. Or McNamara, I should say. All right, see what he can do. He's right on the 50-metre arc. This is for their 4th goal of the afternoon. They're currently 3-1 on the scoreboard. In fact, he comes inside. The ball is drifting. It's coming back. It's coming back nicely, and I reckon that might be good enough. The umpire says it is indeed, and that's the 4th of the afternoon for Scarborough. So no concerns about them worrying the scoreboard early. They've done it beautifully. They're 4-1-25. And just a solitary point for Kingsway, and it's kind of got a carbon copy to what we saw in the Colts earlier today.
And possibly the week off for Scarborough last week is just giving them a chance to freshen up and just come out, a little bit more lively, a little bit more energetic. Because Kingsway, they've obviously had the hard slog throughout this final series, having to win every game to get through to this position today.
And that's what we saw in the Colts as well, with Kingsway having to play every game in the finals and just not coming out firing. So, like you said, Mills, it's a carbon copy.
All right, well, Blab got the kick forward for Kingsway. Player nearly found without the footy, holding the football he was, in fact. And Taylor, with that, really knowing that his player was closing him down. And in the agency here of Rasty. So Rasty's kick up towards full forward. The player pushed under it by his opponent there in Suffer Ferry. How do you say number 19's name?
Sam Safari it is, actually.
Sam Safari. Love the name. History with the Scarborough Footy Club?
He's just come through the Colt system. He played at Scarborough Juniors, and he actually got brought into the side. He's had a hamstring for 3 weeks, so he's doing well.
Okay, well, he'll be pretty happy to be out there for the grand final. Here's an opportunity for Kingsway. He gets the ball across to his teammate. He wasn't up to it there in Zeppelin. And again, this Scarborough defence is very, very strong, although that kick's pretty average, although he's going to a 2-on-1 option, which probably suits them. That man, again, he's in the van, and he drives the ball up towards their wing position. The bounce of the ball favouring. And they charge it towards the boundary line. Oh, he put his body on the line there. Ryan loved the look of it, but it doesn't come off because the ball comes then to not Rangelow. And his kick finds Zeppelin. So an opportunity here for Kingsway. They haven't worried the goal umpire as far as goals are this morning, but that is intercepted by the big fella there in Hamer, who's been lively early. The ball favours the run here of Kingsway. In the van here is Turner. He's trying to peck possession. He gets the ball across to his teammate there in Madaffrey. Madaffrey shoots on goal, but it's intercepted there by the Scarborough defence, who've been so strong today. There's the skipper McNamara leading a merry band this afternoon. Deep in defence for Scarborough, closing in on quarter time in this grand final of the reserves. It's been a humdinger early, and it's been all Scarborough as far as the scoreboard is concerned. They look for Hamer. He can't take possession. Plenty of chances though, because he's got support there, but the boundary line finds them, and they'll be pretty wrapped with their start here.
Yeah, I think so. Scarborough can just... they'll just be looking to hold on now, run the clock down. This isn't too bad of a result for them. They've cleared the area.
What's the goal? What's the win worth, boys, down on the boundary line? Is it worth a couple?
Oh, I think it'll be barely worth one goal, favouring Kingsway at the moment, so they should be making...
Pickett taken high according to the umpire. He's been lively early. What's his season been like down at Scarborough, Pickett?
Yeah, he came third in the medal in the competition, so he's had a great year, and he played a bit of seniors too.
All right, well, Holbrook, the sauce bottle. They call him down there at Kingsley. His kick goes straight down the throat of a defender in the form of Cooper. And Cooper, standing firm, takes another mark. Got his knee heavily strapped. No doubt pretty happy to be out there for the grand final. His kick's pretty average, though, and it comes to Cable.
Downfield, I think they're...
All right, well, Scarborough get the benefit of the umpiring decision, so away they go again. This is McFarlane, who's been lively. Opportunity presents itself to McFarlane. He certainly makes the most of it. Kicks down towards his teammate there in Birchfield. He's outnumbered, really, but they're able to actually take possession here through the form of Summers. He's a goal kicker this quarter. His kick is not up to the standard that's required to kick another goal, and intercepting it there is Kingsley again. So we're deep into this first quarter of the grand final. It's been all Scarborough early. Their supporters will be pretty happy with what they've seen, but Kingsley no doubt will try and settle. But as we said, the interchange is favouring Scarborough at the present time. On the lead here is Cable. The Cable who took the mark before to have it taken off him gets the opportunity to have his kick, but there's the skipper again. He is captain this afternoon. Is that correct, McNamara?
Yeah, he is the captain of the reserves and again came back from the league side.
Okay, well, obviously enjoying the leadership challenge out there. That's about his 5th disposal this afternoon, so he's doing pretty well leading from the front and the back half. And he's not without friends down there. They're standing up very strongly. Putting himself in good position there was Phoenix, but he couldn't rise to the occasion. He dropped the ball. The ball comes towards the boundary line. Strong tackle applied by the Scarborough players, and the umpire says, give it to me. And we're buried deep now into the first quarter. It's 4-1, Scarborough 25, leading Kingsway, who are just 1 point.
Yeah, and Here we go. We've got Kingsway clearing the ball there. That's good composure to kick the ball back. He's got an option inside now. Looks to go inboard in Hack, who takes the mark.
Hack's been impressive early. Whenever he's got the footy, as far as his disposals are concerned.
He kicks up towards centre half forward. There's a 2-on-1 there, but over the back is Sheriff. Put laser tackle. Scarborough. Good fierce work there by Kingsway. They need plenty more of that if they want to stay in this game, and they've earned himself a free kick. Well deserved there. Now he just needs to compose himself and wait for an option up forward.
Like the boots.
Blue boot matching.
Looks
He
pretty
lines
good.
up, kicks from 40, 55, straight to the square. 2-on-2, nearly a mark down there. 2, and we'll set up about. And there's the siren.
It's quarter time here in the grand final of the C-grade reserves, and it's 4-1. That's the score for Scarborough. 25 leading Kingsley, who are a solitary .1. It's a 4-goal margin here at quarter time of the reserves grand final.
Quite loud now, I want I can't and draft chips and lasagna, many in slow-mo. In slow-mo.
Whether it's a school day or a game day, it's about never giving up, learning from your mistakes and making the most of the chances you get. We're helping WA students dream big, encouraging education through sport and reaching over 500 schools each year thanks to BHP Billiton.
Well, we're back here at Bassendean Oval with the reserves grand final is underway in the C section, and it's all been Scarborough who went into this game as favourite, and they're living up to that reputation. They're 4-1-25. Kingsway, who aren't as bad as it appears on the scoreboard, just 1 point. Plenty of reasons to get downstairs. Just Lenko, it's pretty warm downstairs. It's obviously going to have some impact on both these teams as we head into the second quarter.
Yeah, mate, it's really warm down here. You can really feel the bite of the sun when you get in there. That breeze is, I think, not really a favouring anyone. It's just it wafts to and fro. But Kingsley's team gets into the respective huddles, and the coach just really tell them to slow down. Retain possession on the ball and just watch the switches and that. And also he wants their kicking into the forward line a bit more precise.
All right. Well, I reckon in amateur football I've covered. I've seen a lot of amateur football. I'm sure you have as well, Smithy. But I've never seen a team with a mascot as impressive as the Roo that Kingsway have got. So if it was decided on mascot, I don't know if we can get a shot of the Roo, but there he is. The Roo down here, and that if it's warm downstairs for the players, I tell you what, it'll be bloody warm inside that suit.
I saw him pre-game. He was doing his best to pump the boys up during their warm-up. Let's hope you can give him something here at quarter time.
Now, you're playing grand final next week. Has your team got a mascot like that?
No, we don't. I wish we did, though.
Yes, well, you can see the kangaroo having fun there with one of the players. That's exactly what we want for the kiddies out there. Well, off the kangaroo. Thank you very much. Back onto the football. Now, Scarborough, let's go down to a representative down there for Scarborough. What was the message down there?
The message down here was just centre breaks were in favour of Scarborough. He talked about that, winning it out of the centre. He liked the run out of half back. He thought the backs were extremely tight, and they brought the footy out the side of the ground. And he just asked the forwards, if you get that opportunity, get that mark, you've got to hold them, because they probably went in 3 times there where they dropped marks where they should have taken them and probably kicked goals.
So the buzz is pretty strong down there?
Yeah, they're confident, but like they said, they didn't talk about last year, but as director of footy, that's in the back of my mind. I think this quarter, they've just got to keep pushing like they have.
Well, their run's been fantastic out of defence. Let's set it up. So was there much mentioned about the defence?
Yeah, he really talked about defence, and he also talked about kick-outs. He seems to think that Scarborough spread better probably than Kingsway, so he about that, and he talked about the second kick out of defence. It's got to hit a target around the wing and get it to Stone.
A fair return, I thought, on their effort in the first quarter. They lead by 4 goals, 4-1 Scarborough 25, and Kingsway just 1 point. Whether they can muster an effort here, it took to the second half that actually to occur in the Colts.
Sorry, Mills. There also seemed to be no urgency by Kingsway in that quarter-time huddle as well. They're very cool, calm and collected. And I think they just want to get back to playing their style of game, and I think they can get back into this game.
All right, second quarter action of this grand final, and they obviously need a good start here. Power through the centre of the ball, centre of the ground, but his kick goes right down the throat of the defender for Scarborough, who's in the van, and that's probably not the start they wanted. They had the opportunity there to set up a play. Anyway, the go-to man, Stone, overruns the football, allows his teammate in there, the opposition player in Hopkins, but the boundary line beats both of them. Yeah,
just peeled off there, the backman there in Boschman. Just read it well from the centre clearance and picked that up.
All right, so we've got a boundary throw in, early stages of this second quarter, and they'll try and get on the board early here, Kingsway, to give them a bit of momentum, but the ball comes in from the ruckman and doesn't really take possession with anyone running in front of him, so the ball goes over the boundary line, so we'll see an action replay, if you like, of this boundary throw. And beautiful conditions for footy. Springers in the air at Bassendean Oval in this C-grade reserves grand final. What can they do here? Well, Taylor trying to take possession, but his handball is intercepted. Power's been lively here for Kingsway. He's actually grabbed by the ankle, and the umpire says you can have a free kick. Sits back on his kick, gets the ball up towards full forward. Coming out, taking a strong mark there is Turner. And that's exactly what is needed as far as Kingsway is concerned. So they've been obviously given a bit of a serve at quarter time, and they're responding. This has been the scoring end of the ground throughout the day. So hopefully they can make this grand final an interesting affair as far as their supporters are concerned. Scarborough wouldn't want that. It has been difficult to find the middle, but he has no problems whatsoever. So Turner becomes the first goal getter, or goal kicker, I should say, for Kingsley in this grand final. And their first of the afternoon takes them to 1-1. They are 7, and they trail Scarborough by 18 points there, 4-1-25. Better sign, Smithy?
Yeah, absolutely. Just their clearance work at the start of this quarter has been great. Their just ability to lower their eyes as they're going forward to try and hit up that spot-up target. They just need to be careful of just getting it over the Scarborough players who are pushing back just to try and cut off those leads from Kingsway.
And just quietly, boys, the number 4 for Kingsway, if anyone's going to get him back into the game quickly, he's their man. He's our danger man.
Yeah, Power's been active. You're quite right. It's disposal sometime. Now, the robot gets the tap down, but to no one in particular. And there's that man who looks like Buddy Franklin, gets the handball across to Stone. The number 23, of course, was Bartlett, but the ball going nowhere. Finally, there's a few hands there. Burton, he gets the ball across to Bartlett. Bartlett then looks for his teammate running through there in Francis. Francis took one for the team there as he got it across to his teammate there in Birchfield. They fire up the ball towards the half-forward line. Plenty of pressure here from the Kingsway defenders. Throwing himself on the footy to no avail. Trying to get the ball there was not Ranger Rowe, but the ball comes through to Scarborough. They kick the ball up towards full forward. Larry's in the van, but he's got 2 to beat. What can the big fella do? He launches his big mitts onto the footy. He can't actually take possession. There's plenty of opportunity here. Up comes the 22 with a handball across to his teammate there. Kick it. Pulls the ball across his body. It may have been touched. It runs across the goal line. It's through for the minor score. So that's their first score of the quarter. They go to 4-2, Scarborough 26, and Kingsway 1-1.
Applying plenty of pressure down their back, Kingsway, and they're going to have to keep that up if they want to get back into this game.
He's a lightly type, Bartlett. What can you tell us about Bartlett down at Scarborough?
Actually, he just came to the club this year, actually. He's, I'm pretty sure he's a Queenslander. He just lobbed in Scarborough and was looking for a kick, so we accommodate him. He's actually played a bit of seniors for us this year.
All right, well, number 21, Wills dropped what he should have taken, but he was helped out by the robot who got his kick forward, and then the handball came from the Sheriff to the running player running over there and ran past the ball was Keane. He was over Keane. So that gave Scarborough the opportunity to mop up, and they go up forward to a 3-on-1 option, not probably their option they really wanted to choose. He puts his head down to Scott. That's great, Scott. And Scott comes up with the penalty against him. So again, this man Power is kicking. Is probably one thing that's letting him down at the moment. Now the sleeved one, he's got two decent sleeves. The ball comes across to the Sheriff. Sheriff's handball comes across to his teammate there, but he can't take possession. So Scarborough nearly held with the football. There was Murray. Plenty of opportunity. In fact, the umpires called it that way. And so an opportunity to have a shot on goal. And this could be the second of the afternoon for Kingsway. And, well, they've settled better in this quarter, Smithy.
Absolutely. And Lenko's man Power there, like he said, he's starting to get the footy forward of centre and really looking dangerous for Kingsway. So I think Scarborough just probably need to keep an eye on him if they want to keep this lead.
All right, the kick going towards full forward. The ball doesn't quite make the distance, so Scarborough come up with the crumbs and they go away they go again. They chip the ball around. They've got a couple of options. That's very, very good play. And Stone, who's been their go-to man throughout the afternoon, kicks the ball on quickly. They've got a few options here as they run down past the wing. There's the man that we were talking about.
Don't argue.
Well, don't argue with me, he says. Bartlett, his kick is no good, though, because it goes straight to a Kingsway player. There again, very strong tackle as he tried to burst through the pack, but the umpire said you had no prior opportunity to get rid of it. So give it to me and I'll toss it up. It's an entertaining grand final here. Ryan with the football. Now the tops goes up. The robot wins the tap. Oh, a couple of elbows going in there. They missed. Thankfully for that, play going to the ground with the football. It was number 24 in Scott, but the umpire said again you had no opportunity to get rid of it. So the robot wins the tap down, but it goes straight to Scarborough. Picked up by number 12 in Taylor, whose kick goes up towards the full forward line. Lowry comes out. He's been lively this afternoon, the former defender. His handball into open places, but the man that comes out is number 19. That's Hake, I should say, who hacks the ball out of defence, but it goes straight to my man Stone. He's been fantastic this afternoon, like his game. Kick goes strong towards full forward. The ball comes to the back. Kick it, trying to get to the football. He overruns it. It's going nowhere. Finally, the defenders for Kingsway drop onto the football. Pickett wants it. Oh, it's like a piece of chocolate at Easter. And it's the last piece in the fridge. But unfortunately, he couldn't actually dispose of it.
Yeah, he's very lively up there, Pickett. Whenever the ball's in his area, it just seems as though something could happen.
The robot wins the tap down to no one in particular, but running onto the football here is Murray. Murray's hands gets the ball across to his teammate there, running on goal. That's a great kick there by Goddard. And the man with the tats puts through another goal for Scarborough this afternoon. That's their fifth of the day, and they go to 5-2-32. And they're leading Kingsway, who at the present time just stranded on 117.
Just another couple of players, Kingsway players that I think that can turn this game on its head is also number 1, Zeppelin Kendall, and also number 8, Madaffrey.
Yeah, Madaffrey's going all right. Zeppelin's playing all right himself. The number 1, and they're making some changes, probably more than what Scarborough have done thus far. Into the centre goes Reynolds. He's also got a little bit of weight about him, but the robot's in there. He's doing a good job. But Scarborough win the tap down, but it goes to the advantage of number 12, and that's Hopkins, whose ball goes towards Castle, who can't actually take the mark. So again, the opportunity for Scarborough, that strong defence, but the kick is pretty average, but opportunities or luck is a fortune there. Running through and taking the ball is Stone. Stone's kick goes straight down the throat of a Kingsway player. So a little bit disappointing as far as Scarborough were concerned in their forays forward. What's the observation from the Scarborough bench?
Yeah, I just think at the moment they've just got to settle a little bit here. Kingsway got a bit of a run on here.
All right, well, let's see what they can do. They fire the ball across the field, and that was through the agency of Sturgis, who's been active throughout the afternoon. Found his teammate there in Keane. Keane goes long towards full forward. What can they do? Nothing much at the present time. But the big fellow ran off the football through the agency of the Sheriff, and he puts his imprimatur on this grand final with a lovely goal. And all of a sudden, well, it's back to a 3-goal ball game effectively. It's 5-3, or 5-2 I should say, to Scarborough, and at the present time Kingsway kicked their second of the day. They're 2 goals won.
Yeah, it's all started from their midfield, I reckon, Millsy. They're starting to win a lot of taps and a lot of centre clearances, which is giving them first use of the footy going forward, and I reckon that's got them up and about a little bit.
They'll be disappointed. Stone's been active, but his kick went down the throat of his opposition player there, and that set them up from, again, how much in football is that half-back line responsible for goals?
Absolutely, a lot, Millsy, a lot.
Well, this big fella, it's been a great contest in the centre. I like the look of Chris Hamer. He's been doing well against the Robot, but the Robot wins that one. There's the tattered one. He gets one high. That's Goddard. He put his body on the line, and he gets the benefit of the free kick here. He's got that shoulder heavily strapped, and it's not impacting on his sleeve, which is on the other side. Kicks the ball up towards his teammate there, who takes a strong mark. Nearly drops the ball. In fact, he does, but he's good enough to actually take possession, McFarlane. He's pretty well on centre half forward true. See what see what he can do. Chips the ball around and then he finds his man. Just drifting into open space. Got far too easy.
Yeah, he's really starting to step up here, and yeah, I mean they've got to get onto that Kingsway. I think they've got to start picking him up. Maybe not so much a tag, but just a run with roll for someone there. He's going to kick from about 50 here, Millsy. What's his distance like down there, Lenko?
Oh, I haven't seen too much of him. I'll have to ask Kim about that one.
I don't think he'll go the journey from there. I think he'll just fall short.
I'll back him in. Anyone that can wear that much paint on an arm, yeah, right.
Seems to be the flavour of the last couple of years coming into sports. And I notice a lot more people with a lot of tattoos up their arms. Millsy, how about yourself? Any tats?
Yeah, no, I'm getting there. Yeah, I've only got another, well, looking at his arm, I've only got another 400 to get. There's not much room left on that arm, but he's got the other arm up for grabs. He might have a nickname down there. We'll find that Lowry. Big Larry wins the tap down, but to no avail to his teammates. Scarborough sniffing here an opportunity. This way, that away goes Blab. Blab's handball finds his teammate there, but he overruns it. Pickett comes up with a Cherrin, but he can't actually get the ball moving because, again, Kingsway desperate for the footy, dive on the footy. And we've gone about halfway mark of this second quarter action here in the grand final of this C-grade reserves grand final.
They've got the wall set up here, Scarborough. So just watch for a quick kick out. It'll go straight back in.
All right, well, the Robot's kick tap wasn't effective. The ball is shot on goal. I tell you what, that's bounced through. What a remarkable kick. That is quite incredible. It looked like it was going through for a point. Even the player down there wasn't too sure, and I think the player responsible was McFarlane. Was that correct?
Young Timmy McFarlane, that was. He kicks both feet, so he just popped around on his right there and put it through.
Looked like it was going through for a point.
Well, that's his second goal today. Good start by him.
Yeah, well, that's what he's obviously there in the team to do, and he took the opportunity, and all of a sudden, when you do all that hard work, you see someone kick a goal like that, will that impact on the psyche here of Kingsway?
Millsy, the Kingsway coach, Greg Moore, having a few words to say about his players. They're not putting enough effort to get to that ball.
All right, well, Hamer wins the tap down, but it only goes as far as Blab. Blab is nearly blabbed.
Left footer.
And the opportunity comes out through Summers, who's been active today. He finds his teammate. That's good vision and good play, and finds Taylor. Now, Taylor doesn't waste any time whatsoever. He goes forward, but unfortunately his player is outnumbered 3-1. So this gives Kingsway the opportunity. He's absolutely creamed Hopkins. I tell you what, he'll sleep well tonight if he's not asleep already. Holding the ball, surely.
Bit of feeling down there on the boundary line, sounds like, Lenko.
Yeah, mate. I thought that should have been in the back, actually. I thought the player was taken into the back, but obviously the umpire's sitting in something different, but both teams playing with a lot of passion here. So, that's a big high tackle there.
Yeah, kick it coming up with the footy. I tell you what, he was lucky he wasn't put out of the
it's actually
boundary
Goddard.
line. Goddard gets it in and under. So, yes, okay, Goddard with the sleeve. Kicks the ball towards full forward. Lowry's out, number 3-1. Running the crumbs here was Birchfield. Birchfield's kick on goal. They're trying to run the ball through. This way, that away. What can they do? Oh, they pick up the ball through Taylor. Taylor's kick on goal is very rushed and unfortunately goes out of bounds on the fall. A wasted opportunity up forward.
Yeah, he had a bit more time than what he thought of there, but that's the idea. Get on the boot, get it to that hot spot if you don't think you can kick the goal.
All right, what about Scarborough? You reckon they've settled a little bit in this later part of this first half?
Well, they've certainly settled a little bit there, and they've probably got a bit of composure back and got the game back where they want it at this stage.
That goal certainly helped the cause, giving them a bit of confidence to keep the battle going. All right, this bloke's been fantastic. Goddard gets his handball across to another guy who's been active in Stone. Stone kicks up towards full forward. The big men fly this way, that away, and he snaps the ball across his boot in the form of Lowry, but unfortunately it goes across to the minor score. So another point. They're peppering the goals, and the Avalanche may not be too far away. They go to 6-3, 39, and they lead Kingsway, who are 2-1, 13.
Both teams not... Sorry, Smithy. Both teams not using the interchange benches. I thought they would in this second quarter, because it is definitely very warm down here.
Tell you what, he took one nice and high. Then that was courageous play by Phoenix, and he was able to actually take one on the chin for his team. And he went out very quickly and found Reynolds on the far side of the ground. He goes looking there for his teammate there, and Sheriff, he's kicked a goal this quarter. He's lambasted into the ground. He's not going anywhere, but he's back again, the big fella. And he's ridden into the ground, and the umpire says, give it to me and I'll toss it up. Some crowd building up here on the far side of the ground, and they're enjoying the sun. And it's got a bit of bite to it this afternoon, which might have a bit of an impact on the way this game is decided when we run towards the final quarter, Smithy.
And that's right, and with Scarborough having the 2 weeks off during this final series, that's definitely going to be an advantage for them.
All right, Chris Hamer in the ruck here. Has done well for Scarborough this afternoon. The ball comes to no one in particular, so you can pick it up. A couple of players in there, including Murray for Scarborough. No one can actually pick the ball up, but finally Power gets out of the pack. But his disposal is punched down, which gives the Scarborough an opportunity, but good work there in defence by Holbrook, who takes a mark. Doesn't waste any time and has good vision to find his player out there on the far wing, and that's through the agency of Wills, and his kick goes towards the boundary line. And unfortunately, the boundary line beats the Scarborough player who was into attack, and we'll see another throw-in. Deep into this second quarter of this grand final between Scarborough and also Kingsway. Now, the umpires spotted some action.
Blood rule.
Okay, so who's the offender here?
Kingsway player.
Okay, so he's running off. Well, that might be Holbrook. So he's got sauce dripping out of his head, which is probably quite fitting. So his nickname is the Sauce Bottle. And running onto the field there is Led Zeppelin. So Zeppelin on, and the sauce is off. So an opportunity here, right on pretty well the centre of the ground for both teams to go into attack. And in the ruck here is Wills, and his tap doesn't really go to anyone effectively. Forrester's in there for Scarborough. Comes to kick it. Pickett's handball doesn't go to anyone particular. Goddard there again. He's been active throughout the afternoon. So is this man, Stone. He must have a sore foot. Kicks the ball on the run. That's good vision. Whether he's up to the challenge of actually marking the ball, he nearly got caught down there for Sakafleri. But anyway, he got his kick forward, but unfortunately didn't go to his player, so they're under enormous pressure here. Phoenix, he wasn't up to it, so Lowry puts the slipper into it for Scarborough, going up forward, 2-on-1, nearly pushing the back. Plows as the umpire. The ball comes to the back, and not Ranger Rue gets the ball, and his kick goes to no one in particular. Lowry, he's a massive looking figure to actually contend with. Picking up the crumbs there was Rochfield, who hit the post. Birchfield. And Birchfield had an opportunity, not a bad effort really from that particular angle.
Yeah, Kingsway were on there, and if they turned the other way, they had players to switch the footy. The player from Kingsway did go back into the play and go up the line where the turnover occurred. So if they can look for that switch and open the game up a bit and get that run up the other side of the wing, I think that'll benefit them.
You'd like to see a bit more pressure applied to the Scarborough players. I think they may be found out if that was the case, but at the present time, it seems to be all the endeavour is in the Scarborough bench. So here we go. See what they can do now. Kingsway. Here's an opportunity. Coming through the centre was Hitchcock. He can't actually grab the football. He's in all sorts of trouble. His mate there in Power. Power's handball doesn't go to anyone of his own, so it comes up to Scarborough again. Stone's in the van. Another disposal for him, although a pretty average one, because that man Hitchcock was in the way. The ball comes towards the ground and it's going nowhere. So the umpire says, give it to me. Deep into this second quarter, we're in the first half of the grand final.
Millsy, just an injury concern for Kingsway with number 14, Cable, coming off with limping, going straight to the change room. So I'll find out exactly what's wrong with him.
All right, Pickett's big thump goes to Blab, and Blab gets the ball back after he disposed it to his teammate. Has a look around, decides to go across the field, but to no one in particular. Leading the charge to the ball there was Taylor. He's not good enough to actually get possession, and he's being pressured there by Rasty. 2-on-1 beats them both, and then a tackle comes through. Good pickup and good disposal there by Birchfield. Set up his teammate to go forward. There's Lowry again. He's in the van. He tries to fend off a couple. The look-alike like Franklin in the form of Bartlett's handball goes to his teammate who has a shot up towards full forward. The player going up and taking a juggle mark. I thought that might have been a mark to Murray. Player says the umpire. The ball comes free and they snap on goal, but they miss again. Oh, they had an opportunity there. They had more time than probably what he realised.
Very gettable shot there on goal. Pretty much straight in front, Stone.
Can't knock his game this afternoon. He's been terrific. Again, pretty confident going into half-time. You've done enough to win this game?
Yeah, I think at the moment they're they're going all right, but I still reckon they've had a few opportunities to put some extra goals on the board. And just an interesting stat from Scarborough just have let me know Goddard's had 17 and Stone 16.
Okay, they've both been fabulous. He had an opportunity to get one himself, but there's the man that we talk about, Goddard and Stone. They were both there. They've been there where the ball's been throughout the day. So can they get a goal just on half-time here in the grand final? Certainly would set up their second half with a bit of confidence. Kingsway will be hoping to actually hold them out. So they chip the ball around through the form of Hack. And his kick finds his teammate, takes a bit there. And the umpire says you can have 50 metres for that. Yes, you can indeed. So this should bring him down to around about the end of the square. And it looks worse for wear after taking that on the chin. All right, so what can he do?
Didn't be able to stand under that ball. It was a lot of pressure, but let's see if he's still got his head on his shoulders.
All right, well, Blab, his kick goes towards full forward. Can they take the mark? They can't. There's 3-on-1 here. What can they do? Oh, Turner just turned into it, holding the ball, surely. And the umpire saw it that way. Geez, he had 3-on-1 then. Would have been good if they could have actually taken it forward. Anyway, away they go again, Scarborough. That man again, Stone, so that should average up the possessions with him and Goddard. He kicks the ball into the centre of the ground and a strong mark taken. That's very strong play. And away they go again through Bartlett, who's grabbed with a footy holding the ball, said the umpire. And there's the siren which marks the arrival of half-time in an entertaining grand final of the Seagrave Reserves. And it's Scarborough leading the way, 6-5-41, and they lead Kingsway, who are 2-1-13. Observation, Smithy, at the end of the first half?
Yeah, well, Kingsway really come out firing in the start of that quarter. Plenty of winning clearances in the centre of the ground. But Scarborough probably a bit surprised, worked their way back into it, and then ended up having a lot of the footy forward and doing some damage on the scoreboard. Kingsway, they're not out of this game by any means. It's just over 4 goals, but they're going to have to start well in this third quarter. They say the premiership quarter, Millsy, and this is the premiership day, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Scarborough will be pretty happy with that first half. They lead and they've fought hard, and there's good signs that there's got a bit left in the tank, I reckon.
Sorry, Millsy, if I can just interrupt you. I'm here with assistant coach for Kingsway, Kim. Kim, not the first half that you wanted?
No, they put pressure on us right from the start. We were off to a slow start, but I think we're back in the game now. And I think we'll find that in the third and fourth quarters we actually put a lot more pressure on them and make them earn their goals. I think we're missing out on a bit of forward drive, and we're going to counter that in the next half. So,
yeah, and which of your players need to step up for the second half?
I wouldn't single anyone out. All of them really. The tempo's been pretty high, and we want to get our guys up to that tempo that Scarborough's playing at the moment. So.
And do you think having to play a full final series has hampered your grand final game?
No, I think the fact that we've actually won, I think, the last 9 games in a row, we wanted to keep the ball rolling. We only just snuck into the finals. So I think being positive, I think, it's best that we do play every week. The guys have got a good brotherhood going, so we can expect the best from, I think, in the second half. So.
Well, hopefully you can turn this game around and be in with a chance to win. So thank you very much for your time.
Good on you, Lenko. Just comments from Scarborough. They'll be pretty happy on the way into the change rooms for half-time.
Oh, look, for the first half they'd be happy, but they wouldn't want to take the foot off the pedal in the second half because last year it was a similar story and they got overrun. But I think they interchanged quite well that quarter, so I would imagine they've still got a bit in the tank, but Kingsway will come at them in the third quarter for sure.
All right, they lead by 28 points at half-time. It's Scarborough 6-5-41, leading Kingsway 2-1-13. We'll be back with the second half.
Yep.
Slow motion, men in slow motion. Men look much better in slow motion. right loud now. I want I can't and draft chips and lasagna, many in slow-mo. In slow-mo,
Whether it's a school day or a game day, it's about never giving up, learning from your mistakes and making the most of the chances you get. We're helping WA students dream big, encouraging education through sport and reaching over 500 schools each year thanks to BHP Billiton.
Well, welcome back everyone to Bassendean Oval, where we're watching the Reserves Grand Final between Scarborough and Kingsway. And the favourite Scarborough, well, they've started well. 6 goals, 5-41, and they leave Kingsway 2 goals, 1-13. Some pretty active players on both teams, but none better than Goddard and Stone. And Kim, who's down there amongst the Scarborough faithful, be pretty happy with the way your team played in that first half.
Yeah, they were pretty good, really. If you look at it overall in the first half, they were first to the footy. Their half-back line, I thought, performed pretty well. I thought, though, in the second quarter, early on, Kingsway got on top of them in the centre, but they've gone back to their first quarter centre clearance structure, so that should be right. So I think you'll find in the first few minutes it'll be an interesting tussle because Kingsway will come at them.
Chris Hamer's key for you, would you say, Kim, in the centre?
Yeah, he would. He's not. He's actually playing well. I just spoke to him and he said he feels good. He's had a hammy for a couple of weeks, so he didn't actually play in the second semi, so he hasn't had a lot of footy in the last month, so they'll have to be careful of that. But he's not going bad for a 31-year-old.
Is that how old he is? He's up against the robot, of course, this afternoon at Osmond, so their duel's been intriguing. Fantastic games by Goddard and Stone. They've been the catalyst, if you like, around the ground. And going forward, Larry presented early and a few other opportunities up forward, obviously giving Scarborough a few more options what they had for Kingsway. And Geoff Smith, I mean, you'd have to look at the coaching staff. They're still not on the ground, Kingsway. Scarborough have been out there for about 2 or 3 minutes, so no doubt they're drilling in. You need to come out here and you need to fire up. Yeah,
probably copying a bit of a spray, perhaps, but you know, if they come out like they did in the start of that last quarter and start to get on top in the centre, and then the goal then is they have to maintain that for the whole quarter. I mean, just playing good 10 minutes at the start of the last quarter was good, but not enough to get themselves back into this game. But, I mean, Kingsway, they've done it tough over the last few weeks. They got up by two points the game before this against Warnbro. So they'd like to fight it out. Hopefully they can come back for their sake and get back into this game. But at the moment, Scarborough just on top of things and looking dangerous. They're kicking. It's been pretty good, spotting up players around the ground. And let's just wait and see if Kingsway come out, Millsy.
Well, I was just going to say, Linko, obviously they're driving the message home. Here comes the team. They're running onto the ground. Do you give them any opportunity here to fight back?
Yeah, mate, it's still, a whole second half to go. They're only 4 goals behind. And as we saw from the second quarter, they really stepped up and put quite a bit of pressure on Scarborough. And anyone's game, grand final, they just got to, I think, put a bit more confidence in each other and just be more accurate with disposals. The disposals just letting them down at the moment.
I reckon Sheriff could be the key. He looked like he was presenting well. Power also for Kingsway. No doubt they're running straight back onto the field, so there's no such thing as a warm-up as far as Kingsway are concerned, because they've been called to battle. They've run straight onto the ground and straight into position, like the good old days of junior football.
Yeah, well, the kids are pretty keen to stay out in the field and have the kick of their own. Just holding things up a little bit here at Bassendean Oval.
All right, well, it's the third quarter, the premiership quarter. If Scarborough can hold on here, you would say they've done enough to win this grand final of the C-grade reserves. But Kingsway, a bit like their Colts, hopefully will find a little bit extra in this second half to make it interesting at least. Up they go, the robot wins the tap, and on they go very quickly through that man Power that we talked about. Power's kick up towards full forward, big punch there by Scarborough, but the umpire's found a free kick, and it's going the way of Scarborough, and the ball is going to the skipper, I think.
Tom McNamara.
Yes, deep in defence there for Scarborough. So I don't know what actually happened there, Kim, but he was...
I was just a holdout. I thought it could have gone either way, actually.
All right, well, McNamara's in the van, and he's going to try and penetrate the defence that's being set up here by Kingsway. Early stages of this third quarter of the grand final, and his kick is pretty good. In fact, finds the man, player of the match so far in Goddard, who's deep on the boundary line, and he's between the half-back line and the wing position. His ball is chipped across to his player. It's not the greatest kick in the world, but it's good enough. So they've got a man
The X
up.
Factor.
You can see the instructions being blasted out on the boundary line. We can hear them at least. Now the robot goes up. He does very well indeed, but there's that man again. Got a great vision. Finds his teammate over there, but good defence there by the sauce bottle, but no joy because that man Pickett's there. Pickett for Scarborough's kick is high up towards the half-forward line, but no one's in the van as far as Scarborough are concerned. And Blee did well because he found his running man coming out there in the form of Hack. Hack's kick is good, it's strong, and it finds Reynolds. Reynolds in the centre of the ground at Bassendean Oval on this grand final day of 2011. He has a look around, decides to kick the ball up towards the half-forward line. On the lead, coming out reasonably strongly is Turner, but Turner's turned inside out by his opponent, but he does well. He's able to find a handball across, and he is under enormous pressure. There's that man Stone. He took one for the team there. And coming through and also being tackled hard with the Kingsway players, but he's still in the battle here is Turner. But he's overshadowed there by strength of numbers, although Scarborough cough it up probably at the wrong time because they had the numbers there, and the player taken high right down the bottom of the pack gets the free kick. And so good defence by Kingsway, who certainly come out stronger in the second half.
Absolutely. Now, they've got the overlap here. If they just look inboard, they've got a player in Power holding in the centre. They opt to go down the line. Just earlier, a kick out from Reynolds, it was, opted to go to the forward flank as opposed to using a player he had in the centre of the ground. I think if they want to get back into this game, Kingsway, they've got to be prepared to come through the corridor and kick long to their forwards.
All right, Osman, they call him the robot. I like that nickname, it suits him. Doing battle with Chris Hamer. They've had a great battle this afternoon, and Hamer wins the tap. It should help Pickett if he can get to the ball, although the bounce doesn't help him. And it goes across the boundary line for another throw-in. So wind seems to have sprung up a bit here in the commentary box. What's it like downstairs, Lenko?
No, it's still just a bit of a whiff, It gusts up and that. The wind's not in there at all. I don't think it's going to affect this game at all. I think the heat's a big factor, but the wind's definitely going to cool the players down. That slight
opportunity
breeze.
there on the burst here. Rasty towards full forward. His kick is just not up to the standard needed. Here's this man again, Goddard. He's been fantastic this afternoon, although his kick there is pretty average, although 5 favours a couple of players for Scarborough. Are they quick enough to actually find possession? They are. That's good play there by Scott. Put his head down and did it very strong, like the game of this guy today, Bartlett as well. He's tackled by the big fella there, so they're outnumbered, and so that gives the opportunity for Kingsway to come in. Oh, he didn't put himself on the line enough there for me in Rasty, and that opened the van up for Scarborough to actually get a bounce down. A bit more commitment needed there, Smithy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big robot needed to put some pressure on and make contact with the ball in that contest earlier.
Great tap down the throat of his teammate there, and then the running player is Blee. His kick goes towards the forward line, but no one can take possession. Trying to get it was Blab. Blab with the yellow boots is in there that away. Then they find the opportunity to go forward through the agency of Power. He's been good this afternoon, Power. The umpire says if found a push in the back, it's going back, and it's going to go to the guitarist in Led Zeppelin, and he's got the ball on the half-forward flank. Now he goes right across the ground. I don't know if that was exactly the option that he was looking for because the ball doesn't bounce in his favour. Stone leads the charge for Scarborough as he's done pretty well throughout the afternoon. He shows great speed, takes one bounce, two, and down he goes past the wing. His little chip kick is very clever indeed and finds McFarlane in the true centre position. Oh, he's bumped off the ball. Good play by Kingsway. That opens the door up for them to go into attack. This is good finals footy. There's power. He can't take the mark. Pickett may have injured himself in that encounter. They've got options left, right and centre. See if they can pick the ball up. Blee's coming out on attack. He can't pick the ball up. Oh, they need someone to actually take command of this grand final. And finally the umpire says, give it to me. And I'll toss it up. And Pickett took a hard one there, Kim.
Yeah, just on that, they're right in front of me. And it's pretty warm down here. I think they're going to really push hard in the next 5-10 minutes.
All right, Blabb's kick is not good. And unfortunately, it finds Francis. They toss the ball around and so they go to attack, but again they're falling down a little bit. There's not many players there to actually wipe the floor here, so Zeppelin comes through. He nearly fell over, but he's good enough to stand up. Gets the ball across to Hitchcock, who goes forward, but again, that spare man in defence is pretty handy for Scarborough, and into attack they go again. This time the vision's much better and finds Ryan, in fact, they find Bartlett, the big fella in the centre of the ground. And Stone running through now, takes the handball. He kicks the ball up towards full forward. Larry couldn't actually take the mark, and so therefore the crumbs come again to this man Zeppelin, who's been lively since he's come on. He finds his manner in the centre of the ground, and that is number 13 in Blee. Not to be confused with the television program Glee. A nice mark there, over the mark, but Plunkett, and it's paid by the umpire, and he's been lively in defence for the Scarborough club this afternoon, and he's doing a good job.
Yeah, the Scarborough back six work very well together. The first option is to beat their opponent, but then they're happy to push back, fill the space, and work the holes for their teammate. Great work down back for Scarborough.
Good vision by Taylor. The execution wasn't as good, and that man Stone on the bottom of the pack yet again comes up with a free kick. So another disposal for him. Will have very sore foot by the end of the afternoon. Good mark taken there by Francis. Francis finds his man on, and that's a good mark taken there by Murray, who's about 40 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle, and a chance to put on the first goal of this third quarter, the premiership quarter. Currently 6-5-41 Scarborough, and they lead Kingsway 2-1-13. So an important kick in the scheme of things. One would suggest that the floodgates might open if they can put a couple together, Scarborough.
He'll go the distance here too, I'm pretty sure.
All right, the accuracy therefore is a question according to Kim. And he's put the Monza on him. Welcome to the commentary box, Kim. He's put the Monza on his teammate. Coming through with the crumbs there was Hopkins. He did very well there for Kingsway. Good vision. Finds Reynolds. Reynolds by himself on the wing. He's finally mound up there by the captain of the opposition in McNamara. Goes to a poor option, a 3-on-1. I don't know if there was much options in doing that. Goddard allows his man to come through and take the mark there in the form of Summers. And Summers a goal scorer this afternoon. Now he decides to chip the ball around on the lead. Coming out strongly was his player there. But in the van was the sauce bottle Holbrook, who takes the mark and then gets 50 metres because he's put to the ground in a very, very light fashion, one would have suggested, after the free kick was awarded, or the mark was awarded.
Yeah, the rules are rules, though. The umpires are here to umpire to the letter of the law, and fair enough, 50 metres.
The umpiring's been fantastic, actually, today. You couldn't really criticise the umpires, haven't really noticed them much. Now the sauce bottle lays down towards full forward, and then coming out and taking a mark, not paid, says the umpire. And again, Scarborough have the opportunity to clear. How many times have we seen this afternoon? My man Murray now kicks the ball across to the Summers, who's also been a link man in this early stages of this third quarter. He's in the dead set centre of the ground here at Bassendean. Noble chips the ball across to the winger, and they'll try and rotate it as they've done so many times this afternoon. Beautifully read there by Birchfield. He's got an opportunity to steady, closing it on 50 metres, kicks the ball up towards full forward. Lowry can't take the mark. They're outnumbered 3-1 now. They've got the opportunity to clear. Zeppelin combines with his teammate there, running out of defence, and away they go again. So they look good and strong in this second half. Have Kingsway, and standing up strongly there was Reynolds, although he's outnumbered, he's in the back. Surely umpire. Play on, says the ump. Page stage for the free kick. This allows Francis to set it up, and you just get the feeling that could be a key decision in this game. Scott is between wing and half forward for the Scarborough Footy Club.
I think you put the mocker on the umpires there, Millsy.
Yeah, well, maybe I did, but they've been good throughout, and just drifting across too easy for Scarborough, drifting in and taking a very easy mark.
Is Sattler.
And Sattler will have the opportunity to put another goal on the board here, and he drifted in nicely.
Sorry, Millsy, that wind's also just picked up a bit from the zephyr that it was before, and it's probably kicking straight into it. So
it's actually going towards the Bassendean end of the ground now.
yeah, definitely.
All right, Sattler, he's trying to boot that out of the ground, and accordingly he kicked it out of bounds on the full. Not good, Chris. Oh, Geoff, I should say.
Yeah, the Kingsway defenders are working extremely hard. They're blowing a little bit. A lot of players had their hands on their hips after that mark, but they've just got to keep pushing through. This is a grand final after all.
All right, well, I've got a couple of options here. The ball comes to the back of the pack. Who wants the ball the most? At this stage, it's Kingsway. Good work. Like the work there indeed by Hopkins. He's pushed the ball forward. Power's been at him all day. Blab was trying to get the ball, but through comes the defender there in great fashion. There was Summers. Gets the ball across to Goddard. He can't actually pick the ball up, so Scarborough in there and out. Let's see what Kingsway can do. There's a lot of pressure out there. Summers, very good vision. Finds his teammate over there in Taylor. Taylor can get the chip on if he wants to the running Goddard, who's been active throughout the day. Love his tats. He is dead set just between the wing and the half-forward line. He chips the ball over to the big fella there, and Chris Hamer is running around like a rover. What can the big fella do? He's closing in on goal, and he has a shot, and I tell you what, that is a winning goal in the grand final if I've ever seen one. That's a ripper by the big fella. That's their 7th of the afternoon to Scarborough. They go to 7 goals 5, and they're leading Kingsway, who are 2-1. You would have been impressed with that if that was yourself, Smithy.
Absolutely, and great work there by Joshua Scott, the teammate running in to put the shepherd on to give a few extra metres to his teammate there, and that's what it's all about, working those extra metres even when you're buggered to help a player out. Great stuff there. The coaches love the shepherds.
No worries with the hammy there, Kim.
No, he seemed to be moving all right, and he was told at half-time to push forward as much as he can.
Well, he pushed forward and he got a goal, so a timely one, 7-5-47, and they've cleared away here from Kingsway, who are 2-1-13. Can they come back into the game? You'd have to say this next couple of forays forward for Kingsway are most important. He's been great this afternoon. Bartlett, whose kick goes up towards full forward, and taking the mark there is Murray, is it?
Yeah, young Trent Murray.
All right, so Murray, right on the 50-metre arc, comes inside that and then kicks on goal. It's drifting across, and the umpire making ground to his right. So a minor score, another let-off here for Kingsway. They go to 7-6 Scarborough. They're 48, and they lead Kingsway, who are trying ever so hard to make some impact on this game, but not making much at the present time. They're 2-1-13.
Yeah, young Trent, yeah.
All right, so the score at the moment, 35 points the difference. And it's all Scarborough at this point in time. Kingsway trying hard, ducks his head into the tackle there, Hitchcock. But he did enough for his team, but the chip across the field of the centre of the ground finds Taylor. Now, Taylor has a look around. He's got a couple of options. He had Goddard on if he wanted him. Then Goddard gets one under the chin. Well, his opponent, his kick is pretty average, but Power's effort to mark isn't quite up to the standard needed. He's driven to the ground, the Scarborough player. Play on, says the umpire. Stacks on the mill, the umpire comes in, but Kingsway are able to clear the football. Good hands, finds the robot. Now the robot handed it to Blab. Blab didn't know it was coming, so he dropped the football. That gave the opportunity there for Scott to get a kind of scraggly looking kick up forward, and the ball's going nowhere. So just an ugly looking bit of play that, Smithy.
Yeah, plenty of pressure around the ball, and they've got to keep that up, Kingsway. They've got to really find something in the next few minutes to get back into this game if they want to be a chance, I think.
Summers nearly burst through the back, but there was unfortunately a wall of Kingsway players.
Nothing to kick to up ahead, Mills. He's just going to have to hold the footy here.
All right, well, Zeppelin's the man, so he does find a lead eventually coming forward, but it was a 2-on-1. That's great defence. Coming across with a big knock there was, I can never say that fella's name. But
Sam Shapali.
Thank you very much, and he did a good job, and Goddard's coming off for a well-deserved rest. He's been fantastic this afternoon, and Pickett seems to be back on deck after taking one fairly high in this second half of football in the grand final. What can they do here, Scarborough? Well, they can muster another rally out of defence, because Stone's been there. He's only grabbed with a football, but he's able to get the ball. The ball jars free to the running Cooper. Cooper has one bounce, might have another, decides to kick the ball instead, goes up towards the wing position. Lowry's pushed in the back, and the umpire saw that in the big fella who kicked the first goal of the grand final. Well, he's got a possession between a wing and half forward. What will he do? He decides to just boot the ball as long as he possibly can. The ball comes at the back of the pack. We've got the running play here in Birchfield. His kick goes towards the goals, but I think it's at the post. Another poster this afternoon. So opportunities going begging here for Scarborough. They're 7-7-49. They lead Kingsway 2-1-13. Ball back towards the wing. Power's been great for them this afternoon, one of their best. He looks like a workman-like football if you've ever seen one. Likes it hard, likes to be in and under. His kick goes towards the half-forward line. There's the bloke that looks like Buddy Franklin coming through. The kick is ricocheting here, there and everywhere. And Pickett is able to get the handball to his colleague there, and away they go again, Scarborough into attack, and it seems more of the same here, Smithy.
Yeah, I think so. They're just on top. That back line of Scarborough is just setting them up time and time again. Look at here, they've gone into the centre. They've got players running off half-back. They're looking fitter and fresher.
Well, he's got a few options here. He's got the running Summers there if he wants him. That's the way he goes, but he's had a couple of other options, which is probably not a good sign if you're a Kingsway supporter, because they had so many options he didn't know really where to go. He elected to go for Birchfield, who's presented himself actively in this third quarter. What do you know about Birchfield, Kim?
Young Birchie played a bit of Colts and reserves footy for Claremont, and he's come back to the club. He's had again hamstring problems, and he didn't have a big few weeks before the finals, but they've brought him in, and he's been pretty serviceable.
All right, well, his kick just got under it a bit, so it didn't actually go where he would have liked, but an opportunity again, this way, that away, and has a shot from an acute angle. It drifts across the field for Sattler, and it's a minor score again. So, if anything, they were just wrecking their finishing off, because they're certainly peppering the goals, but that's their 8th behind for the day. They're 7 goals 8. That takes their score to 50
the problem
here at Bassendean.
The problem for Kingsway is just getting that ball. They can get it to the centre, but from there, they just don't have enough targets up forward to kick to, and the ball's just being rebounded time and time again. So they've got to just hold the footy up if they get halfway up the ground, and then just wait for a player who's a bit more free as opposed to bombing long.
Linko, any urgency down there at Kingsway? What are they trying to do down there?
Oh, definitely there's a lot of talk with the coaches and that, shouting out, I wouldn't say so much encouragement, but trying to get muster the boys up to do what he wants them to do. But it's interesting, the first 5 minutes of this quarter was played in the Kingsway half, and since then they haven't been able to get the ball into their half at all.
Very true. That ball was out of bounds. Phoenix presented up there. He's been lively on occasions for the Kingsway Footy Club. They need an option. It's hard to actually work out what their option could be. That seems to be the problem. They've just got so much run out of their back line. I just love their defence, Scarborough. And whether that's been their stronghold throughout the year, it's not hard to see why they're playing in a grand final today. Now, a bit of luck here for Reynolds, who's a burly-looking chap. Got the free kick for one over the shoulder. Now, again, he looks forward. A couple of leads coming. He ignores both of them, decides to go across goal, and finds that man in Zeppelin, who's by himself, but he's too far out to score. So he'll look for a lead, and he kicks to a 3-on-1. In fact, make it 4. Luck's a fortune because it came off hands by Cable, but his kick doesn't go anywhere in particular other than to the Scarborough defence. He kicks to a 2-on-1 situation, but they're up to it because they've got support. But good play there, putting himself in the van there was Blee. Blee creating an opportunity out of nothing, really. That's good play. Back to the big fella again. Down on the ground he goes. Gets the handball across to his teammate there. Running on the football there is Hopkins. Hopkins fires on goal, I think right on the goal line. It's touched. And although the player remonstrates with the goal umpire explaining the rules of the game, the goal umpire said, that's a point, son. And that's your second for the afternoon. 2-2-14, that is Kingsway, but they trail Scarborough 7-8-50.
And that's the best opportunity they've looked kicking a goal when they're running the footy through across the 50-metre arc, as opposed to bombing long, where Scarborough are just holding players back and they're getting done 3-on-1, 4-on-1 players. So if they can look to run the footy in and get shots on the run at goal, I think that's their best bet for goals, Kingsway.
They've got so many options, though, going out. This is Cooper. And Cooper kicks the ball up towards the wing position. Drifting back is that man, again, taking a good mark there in Sefalakalaki.
Sam Shafali.
Thank you very much. And Taylor gets the ball from him. And across to that man, Stone. Stone and Goddard still best on the ground, Kim?
Oh, yeah, they're well over the 25s each now.
All right, now the sore spot of Holbrook pops in, picked up by the robot. The robot's handball goes across to his teammate running there in Rasty. He's in all sorts of drama because he's got a lot of pressure there from Birchfield. That's good play. And they get the ball back, Scarborough, this way, that away. What will they do now? They've got plenty of options. He handballs infield. This is Taylor. Taylor closing in on goal from 40 metres. Can they finally find the opening? They can't. And on the goal, I thought that might have been a mark, but player says the umpire. Holbrook's kick is pretty average. There's that man, Goddard. Goddard's handball underground one. Picked up by his teammate there, but he can't actually take possession. Goddard taps it back there to Ryan. Ryan then kicks the ball towards full forward. Coming out on the lead, a couple of players, but no one can take control. Standing up strong there is Wills. Wills not going anywhere. Then comes through is Pickett. Pickett has a shot on goal, and it never looked like going through the big ones, but it did score a point, which is hardly surprising because that's what they've been doing for the majority of this quarter. 7-9, and they're 51, and they lead at Kingsway, who are 2-2-14. And you just kind of get the feeling here we're playing for time.
Yeah, I think so. Just the one goal kick this quarter, and plenty of points. So they've just got to keep sticking to their game plans here, Scarborough, and not just get on their merry way and all trying to cash in here at this time of the game. Otherwise, the points could keep flurrying.
All right, well, you just hope that perhaps they can get a rally going at some stage. And this quarter nearly coming to an end. The third quarter, the premiership quarter, and Scarborough have done the attacking. And they've been more importantly being able to keep Kingsley from finding the big opening.
Harry Goddard's been absolutely instrumental for Scarborough. He hasn't started running the last. Been watching him quite closely the last 5 minutes. Hasn't started running.
Yeah, no, he's not without friends though this afternoon because this bloke Stones also seems to be able to match him kick for kick. The big fella came out, couldn't actually take the mark there in Larry, but he's good enough to actually find his man. But the siren beats them. Which probably was good news for Kingsway. But it's three-quarter time in the grand final of the C-grade reserves, and it's Scarborough, the favourite, 7-9-51, and they lead Kingsway 2-14 in this grand final of the reserves.
Whether it's a school day or a game day, it's about never giving up, learning from your mistakes and making the most of the chances you get. We're helping WA students dream big, encouraging education through sport and reaching over 500 schools each year thanks to BHP Billiton.
Continuing to warm up here at Bassendean Oval, Scarborough leading 7-9-51 to Kingsway 2-3-14. Lenko, you were down in the Kingsway huddle there, mate. What was the message?
I'll tell you what, I've never seen a water boy have so much control over the players, and one of the water boys in particular was just going around trying to prep everyone up, but the actual coach just said, boys, we've got 25 minutes left to go. There's only 6 kicks in it. What have we been playing for all season? You've got to run your guts out and just really telling the boys just to lift for this last quarter.
And Kim, anything down at the Scarborough huddle there, mate?
No, they were quite composed and just talked about keeping things the way they've been going all day and think about last year, and that was it.
And all set to go. The last quarter here, premiership quarter. Can Scarborough hold on or can Kingsway come back? Ball in the centre of the ground. The umpire fires an early free kick, and it goes the way of Kingsway. So that's what they really needed. Power, who's been live wire for Kingsway this afternoon. His ball goes up towards the half-forward line. Plenty of defenders there for Scarborough. But coming up with the ball there was Reynolds. Reynolds' handball goes to the aid of a teammate. There's a player down behind. Play will come back to that. This is Hack. Hack's kick goes up towards the forward line. Running onto the football here is Madaffrey. Madaffrey's been quiet this afternoon. He's held without the footy. Play on, says the umpire. That allowed Scarborough to clear the football. And there's a player down in the centre of the field. He's not going anywhere at the present time. That's Cooper for Scarborough, and he's in all sorts of pain. But Scarborough in the meantime decides to run the ball. There's that man Pickett. He's overrun though. And coming out again is Power. Power's decided to lift his rating in the last quarter. He's been good throughout the day. He finds Reynolds. Reynolds on the lead coming out. I think that might have pushed in the back. Surely. Play on, says the umpire. And then the umpire finally finds one for Scarborough. So I don't think the Kingsway supporters appreciated that much. Stone is on the run. Stone finds his man up there. They look like Buddy. And that's number 23. And Bartlett. Bartlett kicks the ball towards the full forward line. That was great vision. Really good vision. And Summers, who knows how to find the goals, has an opportunity to put the nail, one of the first, into the coffin here for the Kingsway Football Club.
Again, Kingsway started the quarter with the centre clearance going forward, but it's just come straight back out, and now Summers has a chance to hurt Kingsway the other way.
Likes a goal, Summers. What can he do? He can't do much. It's a flower punt, but you wouldn't believe it. Luck is a fortune. And the big fella Lowry, it landed into his lap. He didn't waste any time whatsoever, and he turned around and he put it through for another goal. And Scarborough, you could have to say, probably home now. That's their 8th of the afternoon. They go to 8 goals, 9. That's 57, and they lead Kingsway, who are just 2-2-14.
Yeah, that's got to hurt any excitement, enthusiasm Kingsway came up with in that quarter. Again, yeah, to start the quarter with the footy and then straight up the other end, it's all been Scarborough's half back, which has set them up all day. And let's hope that they can make something of this last quarter, Kingsway.
When's the last time you won a reserves premiership, Kim?
Probably about 5 years ago. I actually coached it, so I'm happy to see these guys win.
Well done. All right. Well, obviously the club, another pennant around the club room helps out. Stone. Pickett, in and under. And plenty of energy exuded by both players there. The umpire dressed in the orange this afternoon at Bassendean Oval. Been an intriguing encounter between the two ruckmen. Nearly a throw, but given out to Pickett. Pickett kick goes towards the half-forward line. Goddard's been fantastic, probably best on ground this afternoon. This bloke, every time we mention him, Stone gets a possession as well. He's driven to the ground. Play on, says the umpire. Here's the sauce bottle. Liked his game today. Holbrook, he's tried hard. Kicks the ball around towards the wing over the shoulder, surely. Play on, says the umpire. Got one of his few mistakes for the day. Overruns the football. That allowed his teammate, the Zeppelin, to come through. Gets the ball to Sturgis. Sturgis key kick. Oh, footsteps there by Power. The crowd certainly made a bit of noise, but thankfully relieving the effort for him was Hack, who's taken high and he gets the free kick. What can the Mop one do? The Hack man. He kicks the ball down and finds a good strong mark there in the form of Rasty. Now Rasty's still about 60 metres out from goal, so he can't score from there, but he will try and penetrate. There's a player down on the deck behind play, may have taken one. And the big fella takes the relieving mark there in number 19, and that is your man, Kim.
Sam Savali, mate.
Thank you very much. All right, into the back pocket again they go, and they decide to relieve the ball. There's the captain, McNamara, put his body on the line, over around the football. That allowed Blee in, but Blee wasn't up to the challenge of actually picking the ball up. Players are getting pretty tight out there on the far side of the ground, and the umpire says, give it to me and I'll ball it up. Do they know how to celebrate a premiership down there at Scarborough?
Yes, mate. These guys will party all night because they've trained since early January if they get across the line, so it'll be a big night there.
Absolutely. Their home ground the same as the Scarborough Cricket Club?
No, it's actually, we do pre-season down at Abbott Park, but we're actually we're based at Millington Reserve in Karrinyup.
All right. Was that where the party is tonight?
That's where the party is, and our lower grade at the moment's in front in the fourth grand final, and our league follows. So it might be a big night down there.
Could be a huge night. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, of course, but I think you can count this one in the bag because you've played well this afternoon. And Kingsway, well, they need a miracle to win from here, but at least they're still trying. Phoenix, he's trying to raise them from the depths of despair here. Chips the ball across to Blee. Blee's been active throughout the afternoon. He gets the ball across the centre of the ground of that man, Power, who's clearly the best for Kingsway today. Chips the ball into the centre of the ground, coming out, bouncing off his chest there, Reynolds. He's able to get a handball to no one in particular because Pickett picks it up on the follow-through. He's got a nice-looking beard, Pickett. His kick is unusual, probably is the best way to describe that. Larry overruns the football. An opportunity there. A player get taken high there was Ryan. He's holding his head, but again, the opportunity comes to the running Summers, who loves a goal and celebrates accordingly. And another goal to Scarborough, and that's their 9th of the afternoon. They go to 9-9 on the Bassendean scoreboard, and they lead Kingsway 2-2, and that's all she wrote, I reckon.
Yeah, that's Summers' second goal this afternoon, and they just look like they've got plenty more run. Obviously, they're up and about on the scoreboard, which comes down and gives the players probably a bit more energy. Kingsway feeling a bit down and out and just showing it around the ground slightly. And in the AFL, the Pies are up by 13 points at half-time.
Come on, the Eagles.
Kim, just one for you, mate. Is it the back line that's held this team up all year? Has that been their strength?
Yeah, I reckon it has been. We've actually got Ben Boschman down there who played Waffle League football for Perth, and he's like the custodian down there. He sits in the back pocket and he gives them all the direction and the positive talk.
All right, well, the big fella back in the centre of the ground, not giving up the robot, but that man again, Bartlett, through the centre of the ground. His handball goes across to his teammate there in Taylor. Taylor tries to get the possession, but the ball doesn't bounce in his favour, so an opportunity for Kingsway, but they're under enormous pressure, and so they've coughed the ball up and Scarborough into attack again, but coming out and taking relieving mark is the number 7, and that not Rangelio. So his kick goes towards the centre of the ground. Again, they've got a couple of options. The mop one's going to be crammed down. He was too slow, Hack, and unfortunately got found with the football.
Yeah, he's been serviceable though, Hack. He's worked hard pretty well all day for Kingsway, just unlucky there.
Oh, here's this man Summers. He's been lively in this last quarter. He's running towards the boundary line, which is not really going to help his cause. The ball coming down to the forward pocket. The ball comes off hands. And a pretty good crowd in attendance today. And he signed that mascot for Kingsway. Lenko, has he gone home?
Oh, I think he's either died of heat exhaustion or been hit by a car, mate.
Or he's gone with that bloke we saw him playing around with earlier in the day, and they're out in the car park. But we'll work that out, I'm sure, later in the day.
Well, one interesting thing to note about Kingsway now is as the players are coming off the bench and rotating, the body language says it all, and they've just pretty much quite deflated after Scarborough coming out and kicking a couple of goals.
Well, they can hold their head high that they've actually made the grand final, Kim. I mean, they've done pretty hard way to actually get there. So they can obviously been outplayed today. Summers has another shot on goal. He finds it, unfortunately, going through the wrong part of the goals. But another point, but they can hold their head high that they actually made the grand final. To get there on the way that they went wasn't an easy journey.
Look, I think they came from 5th spot, so they've been absolutely superb. And they were always going to be strong once they got in the finals, and it's maybe just been not their day, but maybe next year they might be around the place.
Do you subscribe to that you have to lose one to win one?
Well, I hope not, but it does go that way. Probably in amateur footy, you lose one, it's a bit of pain, and then you can come back the next year.
All right, so holding your team together, that's probably half the situation with any football club.
And Kingsway did make the final. They finished 5th on percentage only. They were up by about 72% over Thornley, who finished 6th on the same points.
Look, they'll probably go in after the game, and if they all look each other in the eye, they'll probably commit next year, and this time next year, you never know, they could be holding the pennant up.
All right, well, the umpire said the ball went over the boundary line, so we're going to see a toss in on the far side. Beautiful conditions for football, no doubt about that. And I see they've thrown Larry into the ruck for one of the few occasions this afternoon. He's taking on the robot. He's had an interesting battle this afternoon with Hamer. Larry doesn't know what to do there. The mop one, nice little tap on, very clever tap actually, but wasn't up to the challenge there, and Rasty just couldn't quite get the handle on it. But he's in there again, the mop one in Hack. Kicks the ball up towards full forward. Overrunning the football there was the player there and your man, Sukalaki or Sam. Thank you very much. And the ball comes free there to the Sheriff, who's been pretty active up front in front of goals, but his ball drifts across the face of the goal. This way, that way, holding the ball, surely. And the umpire agrees with us and also agrees with the fans that are here from Kingsway. So an opportunity for them to be able to penetrate the scoreboard one more time this afternoon. He's very deep in the pocket, so we'll see what he can do. And this is Hopkins. So Hopkins being told by the fans to have a shot. It's a pretty hard kick, really, from the angle that he's in. He's gone the banana. What's he done? Oh, he's done it beautifully. Oh, that's one memory he'll have of the grand final. Well done, Hopkins. And that's the third goal for Kingsway, and that's their third of the afternoon. They're 3-2, and they go to 20, and they're training Scarborough, who are 9-10-64. Linko would have had a good look at that. Nice execution of the banana kick.
Absolutely magnificent, mate. Something I remember I used to do in my heyday in the backyard.
Good on you, Linko. We don't call you parcels for no reason. You'll be trying that yourself next week, Smithy?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I'll be happy to pass that, I think.
All right, well, that's some joy. I don't know if it's enough to make you want to celebrate today, but they can't say they went down wondering what it would have been like. They have tried their hearts out this afternoon, but Scarborough being too strong. But still, a little bit of time left in this grand final, so an opportunity for players to make their mark on the occasion. And we'll start looking at who is the best on the ground. I don't think we'll have to look too far. They've got lots of options this afternoon. This way, that way. Put Bartlett under a lot of pressure there, but coming up with the ball was Rasty. His handball goes to a couple of players under enormous pressure. That's probably sums up their day today. There's just players everywhere. Taken high, missed by the umpire was Francis. Bursting through a couple of players for Kingsway, but the ball comes to the ground and the umpire surely will toss it up.
Yeah, they're still fighting hard. Plenty of pressure. Power's trying to work hard. He's blowing hard there, just trying to get through the pack. They're lining up here a bit like rugby. All Kingsway on one side, Scarborough on the other. But again, Scarborough clearing the ball.
Through the agency there of Burton. His kick is coming off hands and it will see a throw-in. Well, let's go around and see who do you reckon the best on the ground. Linko, who do you reckon? Goddard for you?
Yeah, definitely, mate. I just think his work rate's been instrumental today, so yeah, I'll pencil in Goddard.
Anyone that we've forgotten, Kim, as far as you're concerned?
Oh, no, I'd probably go with H, and I think Stoney on the wing's been pretty good too.
So you're having a ticket each way, are you?
Yeah, I am actually.
Okay, so sitting on the fence, what about yourself, Smithy?
Yeah, Goddard for me. He's been instrumental. His work rate in that third quarter was fantastic, and he's covered the ground well all day. But he's really set them up, so he's best for mine.
Yeah, me too. Goddard for me. And on the other side of the coin, I suppose Power. Kim, you've been impressed with his game this afternoon?
Yeah, definitely Power for Kingsway. He's had a great year. I think he won the medal in the competition, and he hasn't given up today. He's been tremendous.
Right, an opportunity's taken high. Nearly lost his head there, Goddard. Play on, says the umpire. So another opportunity here. Summers, he likes the look of the goals. He's been active down there this afternoon. A lot of pressure down there, but he was up to the occasion getting out of defence, Blee. But his kick's going to go straight down the Scarborough player. And taking the mark there is Sattler. So Sattler, seeing what he can do here. They've got plenty of options, and no doubt players will want to be keen to put themselves onto the scorecard when they look back in history. And there's a nice mark taken down there by number 22, Ryan. And he's on a very acute angle. It'll be interesting to see if he centres the ball or whether he goes for a bit of banana glory. Would you back him in to have a shot here, Kim?
What he'll do, he'll run around on his right, open up the angle and have a shot. He'll never give it off.
All right. Well, he did have a look just momentarily, very, very momentarily, if you replayed that and had a gander. But he did have a gander. There we go. Called it beautifully. Went with the banana. I thought that hit the post. And the goal umpire agrees with me. And it's a minor score. So he did have a quick look, though, Kim, to be fair.
A very quick look just to make sure that his mates saw him have a look.
Right. Well, he's done the right bit now. A downfield free kick here, and it's going to go to the Robot, who's been serviceable this afternoon. Who's won the battle of the ruck between Hamer and the Robot? What do you think, Smithy?
Yeah, I think the Robot's given him a lot for Kingsway. He's probably just got the edge for mine, but it has been a good duel all day.
Right. Pickett. He's got an interesting hairdo and an interesting beat. Has he got a nickname down the club at all, Kim?
I'll just call him Pickety.
Pickety Pick?
Yeah, he's been down there a long time and he's a real legend of the club.
And no doubt has celebrated grand final success before.
No, I don't think he's played in a winning grand final.
Oh, so he'll be pretty happy tonight. All right, see what they can do. The Sheriff, he's been good today on occasions, in and out of the game. Ball coming to the back of the pack here. This is Cable. Cable has a shot on goal. It's drifting beautifully, and that's a great goal. They've kicked 2 rippers in the last quarter, and that's another goal that they can hold their head high, because that's their 4th of the afternoon, and they go to 4 goals to 26, but it's all to no avail, because Scarborough are going to run out premiers in the C-grade reserves. 9-10-64, but a lovely goal, showing a bit of skill there, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, now that they're so far behind, they're probably just happy to play the game, just take a few more risks, which they probably need to do a bit earlier in the game, but a little bit of good reward there for them. They've worked hard up until this point, and now they just need to keep the challenge is to keep that going for the rest of the game. Good finish there.
Yeah, and that's absolutely good pickup. They haven't dropped their heads, and they've still pushed hard these last 10 minutes, so that's good effort by them.
Power, who was going a bit like the Rugby World Cup there, but it was going nowhere. Game's been played in good spirit, Kim.
Oh, yeah, it always is. In this grade, most of the guys just want to play footy and enjoy it on a Saturday afternoon and have a beer after.
Which is hopefully what they'll be doing today, I'm sure. And they'll be tasting very good for the Scarborough lads today, because they're going to win their premiership. Good strong mark taken there by Burton. Burton's kick chips it over. The idea was there. The execution probably not as good as he would have liked, but he gets the rebound through the handball and kicks the ball towards centre half forward, drifting back. No one player can actually take the mark. Running on there was Sattler. He couldn't actually go with the football, which gave Kingsway the opportunity to come out. The Mott one, Hack's been very busy in this last quarter, but hasn't been able to actually make the difference. Good hands there by the player in Scott, but unfortunately his player can't pick it up, so that gives Kingsway the opportunity to kick the ball right in front of our commentary position here at Bassendean Oval, and that just shows the desperation of that player.
Bluntish just giving him one, just pushed him over the line there, gave him a bit of hand.
The boundary attendant there has been poleaxed into the fence.
Is he okay?
No, he's all right.
All right. Well,
I think he was more of fright than being more fright of 2 steam trains coming at him.
all right, so Lowry was in the ruck, but it came to the advantage of Kingsway. This is Zeppelin. Zeppelin's handball goes to the Sheriff. The Sheriff then has a look around, finds an option there, and this is through the running Hitchcock. Hitchcock's ball up towards full forward. Coming out on a leave again was the man that kicked the last goal in Cable.
And this is the most open the forward line's been all day for Kingsway. They've normally had to contend with 2 or 3 or even 4 Scarborough defenders pushing back at times, but notice the difference when you can get the footy in quick to a bit of open space. Your forwards all of a sudden have a bit more room to work in.
All right, can he put back-to-back goals together in this grand final? The ball is drifting and it's coming back beautifully, and that's good play. And a belated double goal there for Cable. That's his second for the quarter. They go to 5-2 on the Bassendean scoreboard, but they still trail Scarborough on 9-10, but some kind of joy for him at the end of this grand final, Smith.
Is it too late, Millsy?
I think the fat lady sang when I was buying my hot dog at half-time. But nevertheless, they'll be celebrating long and strong tonight at Scarborough, and I'm sure they'll be doing the same at Kingsway, because both their teams today have been credible. But I think, as you said, Kim, you go back to the drawing board and you rezone for next year.
Yeah, they'll be fine next year. They'll be in C grade, and I reckon, looking at it now, they'll be right up there again next year.
All right, well, Scarborough trying to put a bit more polish on that trophy, and but they're not being given an easy road here, because Kingsway, to their credit, continues to fight hard. A bit of howdy-doody in the centre of the ground, nothing really in that. So Pickett, who Kim reckons is playing in one of his first grand finals as a winner, which is terrific. Stone's been great this afternoon, so is this guy. Like his structure, Bartlett, you would be happy he walked into your club. Most clubs would be happy with a Bartlett walking in. Relayed free kick down the field, and that will go the way of Ryan. So Ryan, also a lightly looking lad.
He's got a player by himself just on his left there.
Another Victorian, boys.
Well, we won't hold that against him. There's that man in and under, kicks the ball on goal in Stone. He deserves a goal because he's been fantastic today. Is that enough to swing him to get the umpire's attention for the best on ground?
Tommy?
We'll find out shortly. But a goal to Scarborough, that's their 10th of the afternoon. And they go to 10 goals, 10, 70. And they're leading the way here over Kingsway, who are 5 goals, 2. And they're 32. So it's been an entertaining game of football, but no doubt too strong throughout the afternoon, Scarborough, and fitting that Stone kicked a goal there.
Yeah, absolutely. He has been terrific, and throughout the game, wherever you're seeing Goddard, there seems to be a Stone right behind him. But I think Goddard probably did a bit more damage early in the game when the game was in a bit more balance. But Stone terrific as well.
Just on that, Stoney hasn't played much footy at all. He came down to the club only about 4 months ago and was looking for a kick.
What, he'd never played football before?
Hardly played any footy for about 5 years, the boys reckon.
Really? Where's
Yep.
he been? Is he a surfer type down there in
Yeah,
Scarborough?
he probably surfs with the boys. A lot of the boys surf, and he just walked in off the street and started in the lower grades and worked his way up.
Oh, well, he's no doubt. You want to make sure he comes back next year.
Oh, he'll be back for sure. We'll make sure he's a league player next year.
Any retirements, Kim, in this group? That's
I've
going out?
spoken to every player, and I don't believe anyone from here won't be playing next year.
Okay, so that's good news. And obviously, you say that Kingsway will be right up there again next year. What about yourself? Can you handle the rise? But there is the final siren. We'll get back to that question shortly. Great scenes of jubilation for Scarborough, and why not? They were far too good today. In the reserve C-grade grand final, the run-out winners 10-10-70, and they defeat Kingsway, a gallant 5-2-32. But it was never in doubt from a long way out, and you can see the great scenes of jubilation there to the Scarborough team, and some despondent team players from Kingsway. And you play to win a grand final, not to lose, but they can hold their head high, but they were just too good today, Scarborough.
Yeah, absolutely, and almost a perfect season for them. Just a one loss, and they really had the ball from the beginning. Kingsway did well to just hold the Storm back early on in the first quarter, but from about halfway through there, they really took charge. And yep.
Sorry, boys, I just want to cut in here. I've got the winning coach here, Dominic. Sensational game, mate.
Yeah, great, mate. The boys have worked hard for this all year. It's it's a top off for what they've done this year. Like, they're not only a good group of footballers, they're an outstanding group of young blokes. And, you know, after the disappointment, probably, well, last 2 years for these blokes, losing grand finals twice, like, we just didn't want to go through it again. And, you know, they've stepped up today, done the job, and, you know, it all goes to them.
There seemed to be a big hunger for the win today, and I think, like you said, those two losses probably had done it. But who do you think was one of the best players for you?
Oh, definitely H today in the middle. He was just absolutely brilliant, like vice captain, and he just led from the front all day. Tommy Bartlett was good for us as well. Young Blair on the wing, and I thought our two key backmen were absolutely brilliant today. Didn't give away a kick.
Definitely, mate. Your defensive pressure was outstanding today. Your boys play well. Congratulations, mate. Go enjoy the win.
No
Thank
worries.
you.
Thanks, mate.
So Scarborough 10-11-71 defeat Kingsway 5-2-32. It was a great contest here. Well done to Scarborough. Almost a perfect season. We'll be back for presentations right after this.
Whether it's a school day or a game day, it's about never giving up, learning from your mistakes, and making the most of the chances you get. We're helping WA students dream big, encouraging education through sport and reaching over 500 schools each year thanks to BHP Billiton.
Back here at Bassendean Oval, Scarborough too strong. 71 defeated Kingsway 32 today. It was a hot, warm day, but in the end, I think the 2 weeks off by Scarborough was probably enough to freshen them up and run away with the win. Lenko, what's the feeling like down there, mate?
Yeah, mate. Celebrations to Scarborough. I'm here with, I think, one of the best players today. What a sensational game, mate. Well done.
Yeah, it was good, mate. Fucking just stuck to the structure and played the way we knew we could play, and it worked out all well for us.
Yeah, mate. I think your work rate was instrumental, and you really set the tone for your team at the start of the game. And lost last year. Did that really inspire you to step up this year?
Oh yeah, definitely, mate. I think a few of the boys in the team have had 3 losses in a row, grand final, so it was definitely good to get a win, and I think we'll celebrate tonight pretty well.
Yeah, mate, go enjoy the win and well done. Congratulations, eh?
Not all bad news for Kingsway. They can hold their head up high. They've worked. They came from 5th on the ladder. They've done it all the hard way. Had to win all their finals to get here, and a great effort by them to stick it out. But in the end, Scarborough was just too good, and we're just waiting now for the presentations for the best on ground. So for you, Lenko, was that your best today, Goddard?
Yeah, mate, definitely my best tonight. And Kim's also informed me that the Force have one today as well, so it could be a really big night down at Scarborough tonight.
Could be a big week down at Scarborough, I think, especially
Kim,
if the league get up here.
Yeah, Kim, what about yourself? What did you think of the game?
I thought the game was played in good spirit, and it was an excellent win by Scarborough.
Fortunately, there's only one.
Thanks very much.
Congratulations to Kingsway coming from 5th. It's not easy coming up from 5th and playing in grand final. So you acquitted yourselves really well. Congratulations. I know it's no consolation, but well done, guys. And obviously to Scarborough, well done on a great year, and finishing off with the premiership. Well done. But of course, no game can be played without these guys. And done a wonderful job again today, guys. Well done. And we'll just make some presentations to you. Other people on the way through. Okay, so if you see him, just let him know that we won't be doing it. Okay. Now to the all-conquering Scarborough team. If we could have the coach, please, come forward. Congratulations, well done. But you're going to have to wait now, because I forgot. Best on ground as adjudged by the umpires. From Scarborough, number 1, Mickey Pickett. Now, as I was saying, congratulations, well done. And it's never easy, but it looked easy. But well done.
Okay, just like to thank Kingsway for the game today. Tried hard all day. It's been a big effort to come back from 5th, and the game was played in the right spirit today. So bad luck today, fellas, but the club's going in the right way. Seniors got through in the finals a fair way, and just keep moving forward. We've been through the same position 2 years running beforehand. Just got to get back and have another go next year. So well done, fellas. To my guys, fellas, we've worked hard for this. We really worked hard, changed a few things in our football this year, and this is the results that we get, and absolutely brilliant. Couldn't happen to a better group of young blokes, not just as footballers, but as blokes. You've been absolutely brilliant this year, so well done. Start from the top. Number 23, Tommy Bartlett. Number 2, the old man of the football team. He's lost a few the last couple of years, but we've got him one at last. It's Benjamin Boschman. Number 5, Tommy Birchfield. Number 18, Causa. Number 16, Adam Cooper.
You got it, yeah. You got to tell I've got to keep them on all the time. No, across to you.
Number 8, Nicholas Francis. Number 25, Christopher Hamer. Number 21, Eamon Lowry. Number 13, Tim McFarlane. Number 15, Trent Murray. Number 29, Johnny Plunkett. Number 22, Luke Ryan.
Guilty. Thanks, mate.
No, number 7, David Sattler.
Thanks, buddy.
Number 19, Sammy Shafali. Number 24, Josh Scott. Number 9, Kurt Summers. Number 17, Blair Stone. Number 12, Bobby Taylor. Co-vice captain, number 41, Bennett Forrester. The other co-vice captain, and number 6, Harry Goddard. Captain, number 20, Tommy Mack.
We've got 4 left if you want them. You've got 4 left? Yeah, if you want to do them later. I'll do them later, yeah. Okay, guys, don't go anywhere. There's something very important to give you. There you go. Congratulations. Well done. Okay, we've still got another game to go. Like you all to say, and what's that one?
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Well, there you go. Great celebrations, great scenes, and why not? Congratulations, Scarborough, winners of the C Grade Reserves Grand Final for 2011, defeating a very gallant Kingsway. But congratulations to Scarborough. The celebrations will go long and strong. Can they do it in the league? We'll find out shortly.